ever. So, let's go ahead and start off. This week was another great week for DC Comics, and that's something we're going to be probably saying every single week because DC's just been so strong.
Just nailing it week after week with the majority of titles that I'm reading, which is, I can't say the same for Marvel. There's a few, like we talked about a little bit earlier today, that Marvel's got some good stuff coming. And I've read a few good things from Marvel, but it's just few. Like, I love Thor at Marvel still. That Thor story is kick-ass with Volstagg, but it's so few and far between at Marvel, I don't even really know what I'm getting from there yet with Legacy coming up. With DC, every title I've read is fucking strong.
I didn't want to see it, but it was in my Facebook feed. A big spoiler of somebody of a certain Marvel hero returning in Legacy #1.
I'm gonna take a guess. You tell me if I'm right, and then don't tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Banner.
You said don't tell you if you're wrong, right?
Yeah. Am I right? Well, yeah, go ahead and tell me. I don't give a fuck. Banner, right?
No, it's not Banner.
It's
I'll give you a hint. He's
old Nick Fury.
Nope. I'll give you a hint. He's been gone for 3 years.
Wolverine. No, he's been gone longer. Is it Wolverine? I thought he was gone longer than that. Holy shit.
The original Logan is coming back.
Has it? It's been, man, that seems longer than that. Maybe because I miss him.
Well, C2E2, last time I went to C2E2 with you. So. But we're not.
Yeah, they've been teasing the FF coming back, too, so.
But we're not here to talk Marvel comics right now. We're here to talk about some DC comics.
No. At the moment right now, the far superior of the big two, I think. And just the sheer amount of strong titles coming out of DC is mind-blowing right now. I'm loving all of them. Maybe it's because they're free. I don't know. But I read everything they send me. I've been trying to get through them. They send so many that it's hard to read all of them. But I read a good majority of them so far.
I read quite a few. First and foremost, another week of metal tie-ins. This week we got the Murder Machine, one shot. And, damn.
Damn is right. The Red Death, amazing artwork, amazing story. Murder Machine, amazing artwork, amazing. If you're not buying the metal Dark Knights tie-ins, if you're not buying those with metal, you're missing some stuff. I mean, for once I can say these tie-ins are fucking essential. I think that you need them.
Frank Terry and James Tynion IV were the writers on this one with Riccardo Federici on the art, and I love the art. I thought the art was really good in this book, so kudos on that.
Different from Red Death, but still amazing and still top quality, which is amazing, and which is kind of cool because if you got the Red Death had really good art, it was really good, and that's kind of that Batman's artwork, I guess, and now the Murder Machine, which is basically this Cyborg and Batman are kind of blended together in this one. Yeah, but so the artwork is fantastic in it, but different on its own.
So each of these Dark Knights one-shots, it basically goes through the origin of one of the Dark Knights that came through from the Dark Multiverse into our universe.
They were Batmen of dying universes. Like the multiverse, there's many different timelines and things going on, and different story arcs and things going on in all these different multiversal timelines. Well, these are like failed timelines that are dying, and the Batmen of their worlds are trying to survive them. And they're being kind of coaxed by this dark multiverse to do some horrible things. So it's pretty damn, it's intense. It's really dark for DC, and it's intense, and it's really damn good.
It's extremely dark. So the last week when we talked about the Red Death, and I'm looking for some juice for my vapor because I'm low on juice, but
with the B. Arthur T-shirt.
With my B. Arthur T-shirt, I gotta have my B. Arthur T-shirt on.
Sure.
I don't know where I have all my juice at though. But
I've got my Spock mirror shirt today.
So last week, of course, the Red Death was Batman merging with the Flash and the Speed Force. This week we got the Murder Machine, which is all about the Cyborg.
Yeah.
Aspect. Oh, I found some juice. Is there any juice in here? No, there is not. Fucking motherfucker. Anyway,
it kind of starts. It has a lot to do with fathers and sons, I think, in a way. This issue with Vic and his dad. Vic's up in the Watchtower, of course, and his dad is at Star Labs. And it's all a big. It's kind of all a trick. The multiverse is very tricky. They tricked Batman into opening the door, they tricked all these Batman into becoming the Dark Knights, and now they've tricked Victor into allowing them into Star Labs to get his father.
So, the Batman of this universe, the Murder Machine, I mean, it's interesting because he talks about the death of his father, and in this one, it's not Thomas Wayne. He's talking about Alfred, because there's a scene where multiple villains, Harley Quinn, Two-Face, and Killer Croc, are in the Batcave just beating the living shit out of Alfred.
Yeah.
And that leads to his death.
Yeah, in that multiverse, in that timeline, which is also pretty brilliant too. Which the way they're tying, like Tom King came out last week, and like I said, I think I might have mentioned on the show, but he put out a tweet. I sent it to you where he I don't know, it was kind of a jokey kind of a tweet, but he also said at the same time, yes, all of the DC storylines are intertwined. It's all one big story. Metal, Doomsday, all of it. He wrote something to that effect and put it out on Twitter. And it is amazing to me that you got books like Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps are dealing with Nth Metal and Darkseid in space right now, and then you've got with Doomsday Clock and it's all kind of connected in a way. Like all these, even the stuff that you wouldn't think. Well, I mean, JLA wasn't too much to do with it, but I mean, there's mentions of Nth Metal and things throughout some of the other storylines going on. Even in Mr. Oz, there's the hint that something darker is coming to the DC universe, and it does seem like everything is in DC is really cohesive right now. What's going on? I mean, this father and son thing with Alfred and Batman is going on in All-Star Batman too.
Yeah, and I mean, last week's Nightwing was a metal tie-in. So you get all these metal tie-ins. So basically, Alfred gets killed, and he's in the Batcave. All the rest of the Justice League is there, and they're in suits. They're at to mourn Alfred. Batman is in the Batman suit, just minus the cowl. He's in his suit, and
he's still trying to get revenge on who killed Alfred.
And he tells Vic that he always had this plan. It's called the Alfred Protocol. That is basically the sentient Alfred AI.
Yeah.
And Vic helps the Batman of this dark timeline to bring this AI online. Well, this AI kind of goes haywire, I guess you could say. This Alfred AI multiplies itself and kills every single villain in Gotham.
Yeah, it's decided that it's designed to protect Bruce at all costs and to help Bruce at all costs. And it takes that to the millionth degree, and it starts killing anything and everything that could be a threat to Bruce.
And to the point to where it actually becomes that the best way to protect Bruce is to merge with him.
Yeah.
So the sentient AI merges with Bruce Wayne and becomes this Dark Knight, this cyborg-esque Batman.
Yeah.
Who is now in this world attacking the Watchtower.
Yeah, and he's determined to get to Victor's father, and they do this kind of elaborate ruse. Well, when they're in the Batcave with Bruce, and the Alfred AI is on the screen saying, "Let me in, sir, let me in, sir." It's like multiplied everywhere, and Batman still has it isolated outside of the cave.
Yeah.
And he just makes that decision. He goes ahead and lets it in. And then it's just chaos everywhere after that happens. And Victor and his father are trying to figure out how to shut down the AI. And it's really fucking with them because it wants into Star Labs. There's stuff at Star Labs it needs. And Victor thinks it wants the Watchtower. And so they kind of dupe Victor into letting it into Star Labs, and it gets in there and gets his dad.
And the cyborg Batman and the rest, like the Doomsday Batman, the Aquawoman Batman, beat and dismember Cyborg. I mean, they pretty much destroy Cyborg.
Yeah,
I mean,
they tear his head off.
well, that was the Cyborg of the Dark universe. That's the one they ripped the head off. This one, he's still kind of there. They haven't ripped his head off yet, but it's like they rip his arms off. And,
right.
And like
okay, yeah.
and all that, and then you get the Joker Batman. His face shows up and he talks, a little bit.
The Batman who laughs.
The Batman. That's the one I'm really waiting on, because that to me is probably going to be the most interesting one.
I want to see the Doomsday one too. They all look good. There's got to be 7 of them at least, because there's 7 Dark Knights, so there's got to be 7 titles.
Well, next week we will be getting the Dawn. Well, maybe not. I don't know if it's next week, but I know the next one that's coming out is the Dawnbreaker, and that's going to be the Green Lantern Dark Knight.
Man, it's so good and it's so dark, the whole thing so far. And I got to reiterate, if you're reading Metal, and really if you're a DC fan, you should be reading these. These are amazing. Like I said, I can't believe just the sheer volume of quality coming out of DC right now.
I mean,
just in terms of,
if you look at it, if you look at the mirror of this, think about when Forever Evil happened. It was kind of almost the same plot line. A Justice League from an alternate parallel universe comes to the Prime universe and starts wreaking havoc and taking over. And you had one-shots, but those one-shots were
weak. They were weak.
A lot of them did not even tie into Forever Evil.
Very few. There were some, but it was hard to tell what did and what didn't, because they all had Forever Evil on them.
Like the Joker one didn't, because at that time the Joker we hadn't seen the Joker, because they had just done Death of the Family. We didn't even know if Joker survived Death of the Family or not. And here's a Joker one shot. This one, the one shots are all connected. They are all fantastic. Great covers too. Nice shiny covers. I love the shiny covers. We like Moth to a Flame, the shininess. But definitely, you got to be reading the Metal tie-ins, and if you, I think I've missed maybe 1 or 2 like of the other, not the one shots, but other titles that are running Metal tie-ins that I'll have to take a look at. But really, these one shots, the main Metal book, and then there's going to be ones like Batman Lost and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are going to tie the whole story together. I think the books like Suicide Squad, Nightwing that tie it in, that's how they're dealing with it. But these books, the one shots, are definitely what the bread and butter.
Yeah, they're essential. I think they're essential stuff to know the backgrounds on all these Dark Knights and to know what's going on, how the other heroes are affected, what's happening, what happens in those dark universes when they collapse. It's like that kind of shit's what you need to know. And it's mind blowing how good it is. And it's a good point to contrast that with Forever Evil, with how long and drawn out that was and didn't seem to be going anywhere, and we didn't know what was happening. And it's almost like if they would have given Scott Snyder Forever Evil and said, make this make sense. And I think there was just too many characters from the DC universe involved in Forever Evil to make it interesting. It was just too all over the place.
Yeah.
This is more concise. It deals specifically with Batman and his relationship to the multiverse. And it is kind of like Forever Evil in the sense that there's this kind of dark Justice League made of Batman, but it's more condensed and is not just all over the place random shit going on. It's Scott Snyder and Capullo, for one thing, together again on Batman, which kicks ass, and it's cohesive and it makes sense. And it's like DC's like just hit their stride this year, and they're just kicking ass all over the place.
And it wasn't like with Forever Evil, where first you had to read the Trinity story arc, and the Justice League.
It's easy to figure this one out. It's not that hard to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, so definitely, highly recommend the Murder Machine. Such a fantastic story. Next up, I read the Nightwing New Order, and I read both of them, issue 1 and issue 2, tonight. Really interesting off-world story, because this is another off-world story.
Yeah.
Where basically
it's a future non-canon kind of thing.
Yeah, basically, basically what's going on is in the near future of the DC universe, there's the superheroes.
It's kind of a Civil War thing. Like if you know Marvel Civil War, it's kind of like that, but it's a little different.
the superheroes and the supervillains had a 3-day battle in Metropolis. Multiple casualties, multiple civilian deaths, and we're not exactly sure what Grayson did, but Nightwing ends the war and basically